Bonjour tout le monde, j'espère que vous allez bien. Aujourd'hui, nous allons discuter par rapport au sujet ayant pour titre Cultural Sensitive and Taboo. Donc, nous allons parler des cultures sensibles et également des sujets à éviter ou les tabous en culture française. Premièrement, vous devez comprendre que le français apporte vraiment de la valeur ou tient vraiment à la politesse et également aux conversations. So the French value politeness, okay, politeness, sorry, and expect a respectful bonjour before any conversation. So whenever you go somewhere, if you're going to have a discussion with someone, you have to always start by greeting the person, which is normal, and also you during the whole discussion you have to keep on being respectful. Okay, it's important to use formal language like vous instead of tu when you are speaking to stranger or in a professional settings. That's why whenever we are like you're having a discussion with someone, you should try, okay, to keep the vous as the pronoun that we use the most because it make you feel safe, okay, and avoid a lot of misunderstanding. Look, general guidance, okay, guideline. Talk about food, travel, and art. Avoid politics, religion, or money earlier on. So until you get very familiar to the person, you have to avoid certain topic. Okay, the culture, value, language. Okay, communication, courtesy, rituals, roles, custom, relationship, practice, expected behavior, value, thought, and manners of interaction. So that's who the whole culture. Okay. Now, we talk about food, travel, and art. We use vous instead of tu. We don't ask personal questions too soon. We stay clear in jokes or comments about nationality. We use polite phrase, okay, like je pense que, and avoid sounding too direct, okay. So if you notice in the French culture, we are very, very, very uh polite. Okay, whenever you get familiar to someone that speaks French or a French, a native French speaker, okay, you know understand that he's very um polite because it's something that we value the most. So whenever to recapitulate very quick, whenever you're talking with someone, the first discussion or whenever you're starting a discussion, it starts with the greetings, okay? And after that, there are some topics that you need to avoid, okay? You need to avoid politics topic, religion, or money too early, okay? Because if you start talking about such thing, the person will feel like you are an opportunist, okay? Or you don't value the relationship, maybe if the friendship you are trying to build, okay, but you are too focused on where your earn or where your advantage are, which is not supposed to be. We take care of the relationship, we take care of the friendship, we take care of communication before getting on whatever or whatsoever should come outside. Okay. So we talk about food and travel. We like to what you like to eat. We don't comment anyhow. Like we don't judge people, especially when we are talking about cultural aspect of maybe country or nationality, to avoid to throw anyhow jokes because they might take it badly. Okay. So that's the layer in that's the layer with the guideline that you have to keep on whenever you are having a discussion. Okay. Now, talking about the taboo topic in France, okay? The topic personal earning and wealth. Okay. The personal earning and wealth is considered private, okay? Discussing money is seen as both false or instructive. So you need to avoid talking about income or asking personal question like what's your income, how much you earn, all the stuff like they're really, really perceived as bad behavior. And if in French culture is not recommended, like such a topic you need to avoid it. We have politics also, especially extreme view can cause discomfort and argument. Okay, and religion, strong opinion may often in France value secular strong opinion may often France value secularism, okay, which is the la laicité, work-life balance criticism. So French work value, criticizing French work culture may be seen as disrespectful. Yeah, because un Français a vraiment un attachement à son pays. OK? Donc, avoir critiqué peut-être les valeurs françaises ou les valeurs du pays seront et sont très, très mal vues. Elles sont très, très mal vues. Et également, vous devez éviter personal relationship appearance, OK? Too intimate or judgmental for casual or new conversation. So, on dit que le français est un gentleman. So, whenever you are speaking with someone, you have to keep on that respect, okay? And apart from that, you shouldn't be too personal, like you shouldn't show too much casualty around each other, okay, especially in the public area. Okay. So save a topic. The more you know, France is the best place for like let's say bakery food and also wine. So whenever you're having a discussion to make it be interesting, you can talk about food and wine, travel and holiday, art, cinema, books, cultural events, or history, or more also local experience. Maybe you came one time because of an event, because of football event, and you got attracted by the country, or you see how many trees friends receive yearly or like during the time you were there. So you can use it as a discussion. Okay. But keep in mind that you have to be polite. Okay? All this topic I should be brought up in a polite way. Okay. So right now we're going to discuss about the body language in French culture. Okay. So let's on the screen you have a woman and we have four features that have been straight out. Let's start with the forehead. Okay. So nodding to indicate yes is not universal. Okay, so like when you nod your head to say yes, not universal. Okay, grinning or smiling in some culture could be interpreted as being pushy. Yeah. Okay, don't point with your finger. It might be considered rude. In French culture, it's very rude. If you don't talk to someone by pointing your finger on the face, or you don't just point someone, even though you are trying to indicate, or it is the person you have to look for, we don't do that in French culture. Okay. Don't do the okay sign. Researcher mean different thing in other culture. Yeah. That means different thing in other culture. And also it might be perceived as like unprofessional or also like too I will not say ghetto, but too familiar. Okay. Because this kind of behavior, you can keep it with people that you are very close to, like, but still in the French culture, it's seen as rude. Okay. You have to be careful where you point your feet and avoid pointing your toes on sole at another. Okay. Whenever you're walking, okay, and you step your feet or toes on someone, you have to ask for forgiveness or like, please excuse me, but still you need to avoid it because it's kind of like going towards like a normal like a pacific situation and get into trouble. Okay, so you have to be very careful whenever you step your feet and how you step it. Okay, so we have the French hand gesture. In French as well as the thumbs up gesture mean okay, good, great, but also one. Okay, so when we are counting a number in French, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So whenever I do like this, I can either be saying, okay, good, great, good for it, or I can also be saying one, like I'm counting one. When you do the thumbs looking down, okay, like in many other country in France, with thumbs down just mean negative. So it means bad, it means not good, okay? And like in many other countries in France, pointing is used to show something. So it's very rude to point at a person. Yes, when you're pointing at the person, it's like it's really, really bad. Body language in French culture. So the eyes contact, the gesture, the handshake, the pace, the posture, personal space, at some specific, they have some they run on some cultural norm. Okay, so when it comes to the eyes contact, expect it and show confidence. Avoid staring or being too intense. Okay, so whenever you are looking at someone and your eyes like got to like being very like um looking at each other, you need to like avoid staring at the person or being too intense. Okay, the gesture, control your subtle. Okay, and as exaggerated gesture may be seen as impolite. Yeah, when you overact or when you um overdo what we say, it can be seen as like uh, an impolite gesture. Okay, the handshake, brief and tight, especially in professional settings. Shake the hand professionally, okay, and with maybe with a little smile to keep it like, yeah, it's a safe area, okay. La bise. La bise, the cheese kissing, is common in social connect, okay. It's common in social context and not in formal business environment. Okay? So maybe you give the kiss to someone like, yeah, you like you're very familiar to, or if the body language of the person is expressing, yeah, let's give a kiss, let's give like la piece, you can do it. But in some professional, in some formal business environment, it's not advice to act like that. Okay. The posture, good posture is important. Okay. Shouting can be seen as disrespectful. Okay. Personal space. So close in informal settings, but avoid unnecessary physical contact earlier on. So when it comes to the personal space, okay, you have to close like you have to close your environment, like close in informal settings, okay, but avoid unnecessary physical contact earlier on. So we have the personal space, okay. Um, looking at the camera on the screen, okay, the image on the screen. We have two images there where you can see even from a far distance you can say okay to the person. But when you get too close to the person, it feels as like it feels irritated. Okay. So that's what we are discussing about right now. So the public space allow closer distance. Okay. The private space is value. Okay. The touch is reserved for close relationship. The formal settings require more distance and observe and adapt. So um there's accept the personal space respect that you might give your interlocutor depend on how, okay, like how the discussion is gonna go or what is his body language showing up. Okay. So that's the complexity in the personal space. So we have common misunderstanding here. Yeah, in every language, in every culture, there are sometimes misunderstanding. Okay, so mistaking formality for coldness. Yeah, sometimes you're just being professional. You are just respecting formality, and it might be in cap like seen as like you're too cold. Okay, or you're being too proud or get pride. Okay, or being too familiar too soon is also a very bad like you don't get familiar to someone like too soon. Okay, you get the person, get to respect you, get to know you, and you like there's a certain level of respect that should stay between each one of you. Okay, even though you might become like a very strong friends. Okay, overusing gesture or tool or touch. Yeah, you don't touch. We French culture, we don't touch anyhow. Like that's why I say previously we have to respect personal space of like of whosoever you're having discussion with. Okay, expecting quick and small talk, ignoring subtle social cue. Okay, so false friend, we have pain. Pain means the pain like pain in English, but in French it means bread. Okay, gift. Gift means card like gift as we're seeing on the screen. But in German, gives me like Persian and Polish. Okay. We have for sell, which means like sell, we have sale, which means salty. Okay. Glass, like Swedish means basically ice cream, but Danish glass means like a glass of wine. So we had a lit scenario here, like through the first meeting of when you're meeting someone for the first time, okay? We would have, if there was somewhere around, would have played around and like have this little scenario to play on. So first meeting with a French colleague, okay? So greet formally, bonjour, 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 monsieur, madame, and offer a handshake, okay? Use a polite language. Start with vous, from, and avoid personal questions. So keep the conversation neutral. Talk about work, weather, or general interest, not politics or religion. So that's where we going to stop today, and I hope you got in touch with most of the most of the cultural, okay, most of the cultural taboo that you have to avoid, and also the sensitive culture that norms that you have to respect.